Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome to Kidzone this morning. It's lovely to be back with you. And the last few weeks, I know that you have been thinking about parables or stories that Jesus told that had a heavenly meaning. But today, we're going to be thinking about something a little bit different. Over the last few weeks, the weather has been so lovely, and we've been able to spend time out in our gardens. And I'm sure you've been doing that as well, out playing or maybe going for a walk by the sea or whatever you've been able to do. But I've spent a lot of time in the garden and I really enjoy the garden. And I've been thinking about the fact that there are so many beautiful things in our garden for us to see. God made so many different things. Maybe as we're doing this video, you'll hear some birds singing. And when I'm sitting in the back garden and trying to read a book, I'm usually distracted by the sound of the different birds. There's a pigeon calling at the moment. There's some other birds who make lovely little quiet sounds. And it's lovely just to be able to listen to them. And did you ever think about the fact that God, who created everything, made so many different kinds of birds? We could have just had one kind of bird, but instead God made hundreds and thousands of different kinds of birds because his imagination is so amazing. And it's the same with the flowers that are in our garden. I don't know whether you look at the flowers, maybe your mum or your dad or your grandparents are the people who do some gardening. But if you look at some of the flowers, and they are so beautiful, they're so intricately designed, they're all different colours, different sizes, different things happen with them. If you ever look at a daisy on your lawn, when the sun has gone out, when the sun has gone away, like at night time, or maybe it's not a very bright sunny day, if you look at a daisy, it's all closed up. It's not open. But when the sun comes out, that daisy opens in the sunshine and it changes completely. So you look at a daisy the next time when you get up in the morning, take a look at that daisy, and then look later in the day when the sun has come out, and you'll see that it has changed. And so there's all this amazing variety of flowers that God has made. And God made everything. Maybe with your parents or whoever is in the household with you, you might want to read Genesis chapter 1, which is the very, very first chapter in the Bible, which tells us about all the things that God has made. But the most amazing thing is that on the sixth day, God made people. People like you and me, each one of us totally different. Even identical twins. Did you know that identical twins don't have the same fingerprint? Isn't that fascinating? Everything else about an identical twin is the same, but their fingerprints are different. So each one of us is completely unique. You are not like anyone else. I'm not like anyone else. And God has the capacity and the imagination to make each one of us completely different. And the amazing thing as well is that it says that we were made in his image. So that means we were made like him. You know, our image is when we look in the mirror and we see what we look like. And that's what it says, that God made man in his image. So we are like God, which means that we too have an amazing capacity for imagination, that we can come up with new ideas. That's why people can invent things. That's why people can do beautiful artwork, paint beautiful pictures just out of their minds, things that they think of. And we are that's why we are like that, because we are made in God's image, which is so amazing. And later on, Bethany's going to give you an idea for a craft to do. Other things that you can do are maybe just with bits and pieces that you have in the house. You could create something of your own. You could create an animal and give it a name, an animal that doesn't already exist, but you could make it yourself. But allow your imagination to run wild. Or another way that you can use your imagination is in writing stories. Maybe you like to listen to a story at night time before you go to bed. And that's a way that we can allow our imaginations to run away with ourselves and create people and situations and ideas, so you can make up your own stories. So all those kinds of things are good ways for us to use our imagination because God has given it to us. So because we remember that God is the one who made everything, who made all the beauty that is around us, all the little things that fly and buzz, and all the big things that are out there, like the mountains and the sea. We're going to have a song that you can join in with. And you probably know this one quite well, but it's called Creator God.
You pop the freckles on my face, and all the fish that swim and all the birds that fly were made from your incredible imagination. Creator God, we're singing to the Creator God of all the world. Creator God, we celebrate you. We celebrate you. You painted stripes on every bee, and all the grass that grows and all the leaves that fall, part of your amazing plans for this creation. Creator God, we're singing to the Creator God of all the world. Creator God, we celebrate you. We celebrate you. A heart in everyone, and all the music played and all the dancing done reminds us that we're made to be creative like Creator God. We're singing to the Creator God of all the world. Creator God, we celebrate you. Creator God, we're singing to the Creator God of all the world. Creator God, we celebrate you. Creator God, we're singing to the Creator God of all the world. Creator God, we celebrate you. Creator God, we're singing to the Creator God of all the world. Creator God, we celebrate you. Creator God, we're singing to the Creator God of all the world. Creator God, we celebrate you. We celebrate you. We celebrate you. We celebrate you.
So today you've been looking at some lovely bits of creation, and you saw some lovely pictures of things outside, and you know yourself the sorts of things that God created that you think are really beautiful. And today we're going to do a wee bit of craft around that. It's quite simple. All you need for this craft is some paper. It can be any size paper. It can be a massive bit of paper, it can be a small bit of paper, whatever size you want. I've got a couple of different options. You're going to need some paints, if you have some paint at home, excellent, and some paintbrushes and maybe a little pot of water as well. And what we're going to make is just some things that we see in creation. So a few ideas of what I made already. Now mine aren't very good, yours would be much better I'm sure. But you could make a ladybird, if you can tell that that's a ladybird. Probably only tell by its colours really, can't you? You can make a flower. Mine looks a bit like a starfish. Or you can make a butterfly. You can make whatever you want. You can make a bee, you could do all sorts of flowers, plants, you could do a tree, whatever you want to do, you can do. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your bit of paper and you're going to fold it in half, okay? And then on one side of the bit of paper, we are going to paint our design on here, okay? So you need to put quite a bit of paint on, because after you finish painting your design, you're going to fold it over, you're going to squash it all down, and whenever you open it up, it'll be the same on the other side. So I painted all my paint on this side, put quite a bit on, and then when I folded it over, pulled it apart, out came the butterfly, okay? So you need to make something that, and you can ask your parents if you don't know what this is, that is symmetrical, okay? So it means that the two halves are the same. So whenever we fold it over and bring it back, it's going to look like a butterfly, okay? So you want to choose an animal that's a bit like that, or a flower or a plant or something. So I'm going to show you a little example of how you do this, and then you can make some of your own, okay?
Fish that swim and all the birds that fly were made from your incredible imagination. Creator God, we're singing to the Creator God of all the world. Creator God, we celebrate you. We celebrate you.
So once you've made that half, you're then just going to fold your piece of paper over and push it down quite hard so you get all the paint on the other side. And then hopefully when you pull it apart, you should have a butterfly that takes over the whole page. So both sides, you can see one side comes out a little bit better than the other because that's where all the paint is. But the more paint you put on, the better the other side's going to come out. And the thicker the amount you put on, the better it'll look. So that is your butterfly at the end of your craft. Enjoy!